Ah, damn.
Here we go.
Looks like I got a full panel with me tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yo, salute to the panel. Max, B, Moose, Frank, what up?
Good
evening.
everybody.
Good evening.
How
Good
y'all
evening.
doing? How's everyone doing tonight?
Excellent. Glad to have you guys. Max, talk to me about your choice of avatar, please.
So, Verizon's always been known for being big red, and now they added the yellow. So I just kind of figured, just tie in with the theme a little bit, but also they're doing a little tricking, much like Trick Ronald's. So figured it would be appropriate.
What you talking about, bro? Verizon's the new one carrier.
Ah, damn.
All right, Frank, I see you.
Oh man. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's do this in segments. Let's get everybody caught up with the news from the day. I'll run through and highlight all the key parts from Verizon's rebrand, logos, marketing. We'll talk about the MyHome, how that impacts and is developed around MyPlan. Yeah, we'll cover it all. And so we'll take like the first 5-10 minutes to discuss the details, and then we'll get into the analysis. I want to look at that part from this perspective. Verizon moves. The next thing is going to be T-Mobile and AT&T. How do they respond? May they not respond? If they do, what are their options? What do you think they do? That sort of thing. And then I think what we'll do is we'll close out the last third of the show with how impactful we anticipate Verizon's moves today to be. Because I think that's really what it is, right? The direction for carriers has been give less. In my perception, I feel like they're giving more here today. So that's a different direction than we've been seeing companies going. And I think that's an indication that Verizon is, trying to really put on the value. I think that's really what it's about today. I think we're going to be discussing value. There were some comments in my most recent video discussing plans and discussing the network. Today's announcement has nothing to do with that. If you're interested more in the network side of things, you look at the company's CapEx, the guidance, you look at the pops of C-band, all those things, we learn more about those on a quarterly basis. We'll get that information at some point in July. I think probably like July 20th, 22nd, something like that. So you got to kind of hang tight till we get that info. But like I said, tonight's not going to be a network. I should say indirectly it does involve the network. I'm going to explain why, but it's very indirect, right? Today is not a network conversation. It's more so about value to the consumer. And I think that's how it has to be framed. If you look at this from any other perspective, I think you're missing the boat, because everything that we've watched up to this point with, say, for example, T-Mobile, they've always said we want to crush customer pain points. In my opinion, they've been introducing new pain points. And here's Verizon, I think, addressing a few. That's why my last video was titled as such. I think Verizon is building some uncarrier elements into their portfolio and how they can serve the customer. Look, there's some people they'll never give Verizon $1. Something happened 25 years ago, a phone, a bad day of service, something happened, and they burned a bridge. It's over. They'll never go back. It doesn't matter what Verizon does. They could give you a free line and you wouldn't care because you're so scarred by whatever experience happened 7,000 BC. But for the folks who are actively shopping and want to be informed and make good purchasing decision, this live stream is for you. All right, so let's start there. The announcement from Verizon today was primarily focused around crushing customer pain points and also rebranding for the company. So if you go to the Verizon News Center, if you go to CNET, everybody's got their take on what exactly Verizon did today. The first thing we need to discuss is the logo change. Here it is, folks. This is what Verizon is going with. Well, they're let's do it like this. According to Hans, this is a transformative time for Verizon. The big red machine needed a new look. They needed a new feel, new positioning. Verizon doesn't have a brand issue. Everybody knows Verizon. They have been, and for the most part, well, I don't know what generation of cellular you people started, but they really have been the carrier when it comes to network reliability, coverage. That's their reputation. But they needed a new feel, a new look, new positioning. Verizon has 99% brand awareness with consumers. It's not the issue. Verizon is, however, trying to freshen up their brand, give it a recharge, a boost, if you will. All right. So they messed around with some colors. They're going to focus on red. They're kind of doing away with the black. So that's why this logo is not really accurate. Just they got rid of the check. The check mark didn't resonate with consumers. Most people didn't even realize that Verizon was a check. So they got rid of that. Now you're going to be seeing this V with that little horizon yellow sun thing going on there. And actually, from what the CMO was saying, they're going to be tying in that V with like NHL, NFL partnerships, all these different things, Apple. They'll be putting those brands alongside that V in their marketing and in their advertising. So be on the lookout for those types of things. The messaging here for Verizon, back to the can you hear me now? They are going to be doing some advertisements. They've got a couple TV spots where they're going to bring back on a brief return, reclaim temporarily. Can you hear me now? So they've got TV spots for that. They're looking for more vibrancy. They're looking for more storytelling. They're trying to do this thing that they haven't been doing essentially for the entire existence of their company outside of Can You Hear Me Now guy, right? But that's basically the branding piece. So they rebranded, sort of, right? Logo wise. Within kind of like the rebrand, they also are kind of addressing customer pain points. They've got the broken phone trade-in program where you trade in any broken phone, doesn't charge, won't turn on, whatever. Their advertising is going to be focusing on that. They want the regular person, the average person who's got a broken phone to have that kind of be a relatable point. And they've got some new music that they're going to use in their advertising. The theme is going to be broken is beautiful. Trade in any phone, anytime, any condition, blah, blah, blah. You guys know this broken phone trade-in thing has worked really well for Verizon in the past. So they're going to continue to go in that direction. So broken phone trade-in program, new branding, the messaging, a little bit of the old mixed with the new, those types of things. And the probably what I consider to be the thing that addresses the customer pain points is they changed the MyPlan structure. They got all these streaming services, all these partnerships with the world's most popular streaming services. I'm not the US, the world's most popular streaming services. That can be backed up by data. We have the subscriber numbers for all these companies. Netflix, Paramount Plus, HBO Max, whatever. You name it, all the numbers are public. Verizon has partnerships with all these companies. What Verizon did was take MyHome, which is what the program or the thing is. You choose what you want when you need it. You're a home internet customer. You don't have to be a wireless customer, but you'll have access to all the streaming platforms that Verizon has partnerships with. So that, along with Verizon Access, that premium access program, which is basically the evolution of Verizon Up, the Verizon Business Complete with the end-to-end smartphone solution, migration management solution. They got the guaranteed pricing for 4 years. I think a lot of people overlook that. Fresh off the heels of T-Mobile lying about price lock guarantees, Verizon says, we'll give you the same price for 4 years. If that's important to you, they're doing that. So they addressed a lot of customer pain points. Broken phone trade-ins, you're getting lots of value there. It'll probably be best in industry for a broken phone. You're getting a 4-year price lock. You're getting streaming services access to a home internet solution, right, that nobody else is giving you. You're paying $120 for cable, $160 from a cable operator. You see what I'm saying? Verizon is moving in a much more consumer-friendly way. For anyone to say otherwise is being either disingenuous or is disconnected from reality. Like I said in the very beginning, you can hate Verizon or love Verizon. It doesn't change anything to me. But AT&T is not giving you anything. They don't even have a streaming service to give you. And you could be on their most premium plan. T-Mobile will give you streaming services, but you need to be on their most expensive plan. Verizon is basically saying, you could choose, what is it, the top 2 plans, right?
Correct.
And then Verizon's got deals for you if you trade in a broken phone, regardless of your plan. I don't think T-Mobile is doing that. There's things that you guys got to kind of see. None of it has to do with the network. All of this is the secondary stuff. Like the conversations we're going to have tonight, if the Verizon network isn't good where you are, none of this is going to matter to you. But if the networks are competitive where you are and they're all basically the same, which is like 80% of the country, then this is an important consumer-based podcast where we're discussing how T-Mobile doesn't have answers for this. And I'd say AT&T has an answer for the phone deals, right? Because you can have any plan and get like the best deal on phones, new and existing customers. But AT&T doesn't have a streaming service to give you. They definitely don't have a portfolio of them, like 10 of them. And AT&T is not going to offer those to you on Internet Air. Internet Air, pricing wise, I think it's about the same as Verizon. So is T-Mobile Home Internet. So if you're not bundled, they're all priced the same. T-Mobile just went up. Their promotional pricing is over. So when it comes to price competition, when it comes to value proposition, what Verizon did today was consumer friendly. I think it's important that people open their minds to what's in front of them as they shop for wireless, because each carrier has their strengths, and Verizon just upped the game. You don't even have to have their wireless plans to get their home internet and then get access to those perks. There are people who are paying for, and I'll just name a few. There are people who are paying $20 a month for Netflix. There are people that are paying for Disney Plus. They are paying for Paramount Plus and Hulu, and they're paying for all of those. Verizon will discount that for you. So if the streaming matters, there's value in what Verizon just did today. If your fiber operator, your cable operator, or your DSL operator is selling you home internet for $100 and you got to pay for streaming services, your bill might be $200 for entertainment and home internet. So if Verizon is selling you the home internet for $60 and they'll sell you a couple of streaming services for $30 or $20, whatever the pricing is for whatever you buy, let's call it $20. You're in at $80. There's ways for people to save money in this. So this is really encouraging. And we'll discuss this later, but those are the things. So B, talk to me about the value proposition in today's announcement. Talk to me about the rebrand, kind of the things I covered there in my monologue.
Evening, everybody. Sounds like definitely an exciting time for the Verizon customer, for the Verizon consumer. I was pretty impressed with a lot of these offerings. Definitely went against the grain of what Verizon is, seem to typically go to market with the strategy on. With for good reason. I understand these promotions are probably not cheap, so I get it. But um, it was good to see something that was going to be consumer friendly, but still have opportunity for service revenue growth and everything via the perks and all that good stuff. Good balance there. But obviously, looks like Verizon's finished with the vast bulk of their C-band build, and now they're in monetization mode and growth mode. Maybe I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe in the past they felt like they needed to do more with the network before they did something like this, but this is really exciting to see. And this is definitely going to force a response, from the competition out there. So we'll see what they do. But even if they respond in kind, if you can get, the best network money can buy in most places that vast amounts of people are, and you're going to pay comparable prices and still get access to these perks, I mean, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. So this was really good to see. A whole lot of solid competition in there. A whole lot of really really solid offerings that I think people that they're going to resonate with people. I think people are going to enjoy it, and we'll see what happens. But this is really good.
Frank, jump in.
Absolutely agree with everything B just said. And what really caught me by surprise, obviously it's my third day working as a Verizon store manager, was all the things that Verizon does behind the scenes for promotions for current customers that aren't advertised. Like I was telling you, Steve, when we were like emailing each other earlier today, they have these things called loyalty programs for current customers, where customers can just come in if they have an older iPhone without even having to trade anything in on any plan. This is not just on Ultimate or Plus, and they can get $830 off any iPhone or $830 off any Samsung. And another thing from the press release today that I think was missed was not only are they offering the bundle in pricing with the streaming perks with the home internet only customers, but on top of that, after 60 days of trying it, if you like it, you get a $200 Visa prepaid card. Not only that you can use at Verizon, but that you can take and use anywhere for online shopping. So there's just a lot of things, behind the scenes that aren't being advertised that Verizon is going to be throwing at customers in the next couple of months. Obviously, getting ready for iPhone launch, and I mean, get ready for iPhone launch because that's going to bring even crazier stuff. But like B was saying, and I agree, this is completely consumer based move, and it's very good to see because Verizon's always had the stigma of taking money and not giving value. But now I want to hear people say that that's not what they're doing with these moves because it absolutely is. Because like you said, Sneed, AT&T doesn't give anything to customers, and you can be on their more expensive plan. And Verizon allows you to do the MyPlan structure with even unlimited welcome. So here we are, and this is good for the consumer. And let's see what the other two do.
Cha, jump in.
So I'm looking at the website right now. Right? I'm looking at the website right now. For one line of service for the ultimate plan, the baseline is $90. Okay? With autopay. Without autopay, it's $100. Every single one of these perks, I have to pay additional money, but it is discounted. Correct. That is correct. But here's the thing on why Verizon desperately needed to do this. Because the facts are the facts. They are losing market share nationwide at a 0.1% every month. It is now increased to 0.2% every month. What do you think that's going to do? It's going to force, like they showed today, that they need to change their branding completely. Number one, right? They're trying at least to no longer be perceived as the most expensive carrier because they're still the most expensive carrier. Number two, they have to be inviting to the customers as to a value proposition. So the value prop has shifted from the discussion of, oh, we're the best network, we have the most coverage, Because neither of that is true anymore, because from a consumer perspective, some people might consider T-Mobile to be their flavor of the month better than Verizon because of price point, because of bundle, because blah, 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 whatever, right? So it's all perspective there. If we're talking about pure network stats, could be a different story. But at the end of the day, the perception has not changed for the past, how many years has Hans been there, right? They've been losing customers every single month. Bottom line is, this is good to see, because this is going to show T-Mobile specifically, hey, we're now willing to play in this additional quote unquote value added space. What am I going to get for the extra money or the extra value that I have to spend, right? But I will say this, we got to be very careful here. If I do additional add-ons to this one line plan, right, it will be a very expensive bill. They took the exact model that Electrify Everything, EE, and UK, and various other European countries do, which is they have these small widgets or add-ons, and they took it to the next level because the only thing that's not here, I haven't seen it yet, is like a YouTube YouTube TV. I don't see that on the 9 squares that I'm seeing here. I see a lot of good stuff, right? 100 gig mobile hotspot. I see an option for a $15 that you can use on Uber One or on Game Pass, right?
So do you
Stuff
have?
like that.
I know that sometimes
YouTube TV is there. I don't know why it's not showing up in the little blocks, but Sneed, you asked me earlier, and I can't confirm this, but from internal sources, what I can say so far from what I know is that it's going to be bundled in for $30 a month if you get the home internet or if you get the unlimited ultimate plan on a single line or a family plan.
So that saves people $40.
Yes, sir.
But to finish what I was saying, right? Because hope that I get the time to finish this one. The there's definitely a lot of different things here. Okay. Yes, this is all really good. There's a lot of promotions. I even see here, get 6 months on us on the Disney bundle special offer, right? There's a lot of things here, right? It's going to be really good from a consumer that's very educated, that is able to shop around and see what's the best discount that I can get. Because there's no doubt, right, that there are significant discounts, right? 40% off YouTube Premium, um, you know, a significant amount of savings on Apple Music if you just want that. Um, so yes, this is great to see. Will definitely inject competition into the value-added services bundle that both, T-Mobile started. Verizon's continuing it. We'll have to wait and see if the Death Star becomes competitive in this space, which I anticipate that they have to, right? And by the way, if hypothetically within the next 3 months, AT&T is to announce something similar to this, keep in mind, it doesn't just happen overnight. It's definitely going to be something that started years ago or a year ago at minimum, right? In order to come before the iPhone, because everything is before the iPhone, like a lot of folks have said in prior to this.
All right, let's get Max in here.
All right. So this is
hold on, Max. I'm gonna remove you. I want you to restart, come back in, and reset your connection. Max, go ahead and pop out, exit, and then come back in. Sheesh, man, something's wrong with this connection. We'll get Max in here in a second. Maybe. There we go. All right, Max, sound check. Go ahead.
All right. Sound good?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I kind of agree with everyone else, even B. This is a net positive for everyone. The broken phone trade-in, it's a good thing. They've had it before, but it's a good thing. Um, yeah, on the internet, I just had one question though, because on the Home Plus plan, was it always capped at 300 meg, or did they
Yes,
just add that? Oh, okay.
that was earlier in the year. They changed it, or last
Oh,
year.
okay.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I didn't see that before, so I thought that was one of the changes today. All right, then never mind on that. Yeah, again, good stuff overall. The big value play is obviously going to be the streaming bundle with your internet and your phone plan, and I think that you know I think AT&T has tried to distance themselves from streaming stuff in recent years. Walking out of all the Warner Media chaos. Um, and my AT&T Fiber legacy plan still gets the max benefit included, but new AT&T customers will not receive any such benefits. So I don't think this is something they're going to dabble into. T-Mobile, though, I can easily see like a home internet plus YouTube TV bundle for like $80 a month with your phone plan, or maybe something like a home internet plus Philo TV deal for like 60 a month. T-Mobile has also had partnerships in the past for sure with YouTube TV. I don't know if they're still carrying on that partnership. They've definitely had it before, where like you'd get half off for your first year with home internet. They probably don't offer that anymore, but companies are open to partnering with each other, especially in the streaming TV space. Overall, it's a net positive on the logo. I think this is exactly what the Verizon brand needed because um, I remember seeing a couple months ago, I sent you an article where they interviewed Sampath, and he talked about how like Verizon doesn't want to be seen as the expensive company anymore. Right? To his quoting him, "We are not a Birkin. We are not the highest thing out there. We offer good service, but we're not the most expensive." This move, especially with the rebranding, and of course the streaming bundle with the internet bundle, is a move in that direction. Right? So instead of a red and white look, they went for an unconventional, different looking red and yellow, hence my profile picture. And another thing, I don't know if you touched on this, but they are also changing the employee uniforms in the stores. This seems like a minor thing, but it might actually be pretty big for how their brand is perceived with respect to sales. They're no longer wearing the vests in the stores. And Frank, you might know more about this than me, but I think they're changing it up to like t-shirts or like long sleeve shirts, something more casual.
Yeah, they're gonna do like the short sleeve collared shirts, and there's also gonna be options for polos, but they're gonna be like very inclusivity based colors. Like it's gonna be very neon colory in store. You're gonna get
Yeah.
like the glow in the dark type colors, if that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
here's the vibes I'm getting, Max. They're gonna take some of the stuff that has worked in the past. They're also gonna take some of the stuff that has worked in the past for other carriers.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. They adopted the phone upgrade, broken phone device, like that worked for them in the past. They're bringing that back. AT&T gives like the best phone deals, new and existing customers, whatever. Like Verizon's gonna compete there. They're gonna try to make their colors more vibrant. They're gonna try to make their stores and retail more inviting. The uniforms. That's T-Mobile, right? They're trying to bring more value into this, right? Make people feel like they're getting more for what they're paying. They're Frankensteining their philosophy in a way that they're taking things that have been proven to work in the past or have worked for them personally. So like that's the vibes I'm getting. They want to go with proven commodities. They're not taking chances. There's no chances anywhere. They're not being risque. They're
I
not
definitely agree
being
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not taking chances. Look, Hans is a
It-
conservative guy. He doesn't take
yeah.
chances. Outside of, betting big on himself, he's not really into sticking his neck out and taking chances. He's in tune with the investor. Him and Sampath have been analyzing data on what consumers want. Obviously, they want lower prices. Verizon will not do that.
Yeah.
But they will answer the other questions, which are phone deals and value.
Yeah. And
So
this was a
they've
really clever
answered
move
those.
on that end, for sure. Because investors want to see a high ARPU and customers want to feel like they're getting a really good deal. This is the best execution I've seen of doing their best to deliver both. And this is nothing they haven't done before, apart from like the yellow. Like they've done the broken phone trade-in, they've done some streaming stuff before, and obviously internet discounts with your mobile plan. Now they're just bringing it together. And again, going that perfect sweet spot between showing investors that their customers have a high ARPU and that customers feel like they're getting a good deal. Now, are they getting a good deal is a different question. That's something I'd have to dive deeper into. But I can see how the customer is going to feel like, they're getting a solid value for all of their entertainment, internet, and phone.
All right, let's get to the super chat here from Joel. Thank you, man. Salute to you. Do you think the rebrand will move the needle much for Verizon, and how can they market this? Max, let's start with you.
Well, yeah. So what we've seen from their marketing, the MyPlan last year, and just the phone plan side of things, it's about to be customizable, like very like you're in control type of thing. And I think that's kind of the mentality they want their customers to have, is that they're in control. They've picked what they want. They're not forced into getting crap they don't want with their bundle that jacks it up, and everything is purposeful. And also, like you said, the broken phone, which they've already released ads for the broken phone and the internet as well, that I've seen today on YouTube. Um, they're definitely going in that direction. Like, you broke your phone, dropped it or something, we'll give you a new one. It's no problem. Oh, you want to control your home? Yeah, you're in control of your home. You're also in control of your home internet. Very like easy for the customer.
All right, Moose, what do you think to that? The rebrand, what does it do for Verizon? Does it help?
Uh, this is gonna be tough, man.
It could be minimal. It could be no, it's not going to help. It could be major. I mean, just any possibilities. Where do you think it goes?
So, see, this is the thing that we got to think about, right? Even if, or sorry, I should say, even though they have now enabled the middle tier plan as an option to get the full price for the trade-in program, and they now have expanded to any year, any condition on all OEMs, not just iPhone. But iPhone is the largest market share in the United States. However, it's not the largest OEM market share at Verizon. That's a fact. So basically, what that means is that yes, it's going to open up more opportunities for Verizon to take customers. However, it's still relatively more expensive than even T-Mobile in the same like for like promotion, right? So let me explain what I mean by like for like promotion. We know that T-Mobile is going to do $100 or somewhere around there, 120, 125 for 4 lines and free phones for everybody, for iPhones during the iPhone launch, right? In order for Verizon to do the same thing, they would have to advertise a unlimited plus plan at around, let me see how much it is right now, the plus plan with free iPhones. Hold on.
180 a month for 4 lines without a pay.
Max, let's fix your audio, man. Pop out and come back in, please.
Let me see here. New customer, 4 lines.
I got you. I got that written down. Hold on. Uh, you said for the unlimited plus plan moves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want 3 lines on unlimited plus, it breaks down to 55 a line. It's 165 for 3 with the auto pay discount.
Interesting, because right here on the website it's saying 65 a month for 4 lines.
That's without the auto pay discount.
No, without auto pay is 75.
Well, he said for
Oh,
3 lines. He said for 3 lines, not 4. He just gave you the pricing for 3 lines.
Oh, okay,
well,
3 lines.
for 4 lines it's 45 a pop without any of the perks with auto pay.
Correct. Yep.
Interesting, because
So
that's not what's
if
showing up here, though.
so Moose, what you're comparing, it doesn't sound like it's like for like. Maybe I'm mistaken, but if you're going to compare the unlimited ultimate pricing, you'd have to compare the most expensive plan that T-Mobile offers as well, not their cheapest plan. Because if they're giving
No,
4 free phones for $100,
I'm not comparing the pricing of the plans. I'm comparing the offer. A like
that
for like offer, which is free, quote unquote, free phones, either with a trade in or non trade in, just any
so
type of comparison on a promotion.
so what plan would that be for on T-Mobile? Because if that's not their most expensive plan, then it's not a like for like comparison. Like what you just did is you just said, in order to get free phones from Verizon, you're talking about having to go with unlimited ultimate. Are you
No, I
saying that
said
they would give?
plus. I said unlimited plus, the middle tier plan, right? It now has shifted down a tier, but it's still
So
expensive.
so has Verizon ever given away a phone on their mid-tier plan, or has it always been unlimited ultimate? Because I thought you
All
said
right,
unlimited
hold on.
ultimate. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Is my audio good right now?
Go ahead.
No, Moose. Hold on. Wait a minute, Moose. I asked you a question. I wanted you to respond. You have the floor. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is the like for like promotion, okay, would be 4 phones, whether that's either a combination of trade in or they're going to be free, right? Quote unquote free, but you pay a certain amount of monthly, right? And by the way, I did confirm, yeah, 45, it's in the small print. 45 for the unlimited plus without any perks, right? So we're talking about $180 for an unlimited plus, which yes, it does have 30 gigabytes of mobile hotspot and ultra wideband access. So I'm assuming this is QCI 8, right? But that's it, right? Just that's it. With T-Mobile, like for like, a promotion wise, they're going to come out with a significantly cheaper than 180, which is whatever, right? That's that's probably going to be the hook for that customer, and they're going to be getting the same phone for free with included in that cheaper bundle. So we're getting closer, right? We're getting closer. At that point, the customer is going to be like, well, for the difference in price point, I'm going to be getting a potentially better network depending on where you live, and I could potentially also get
What
perks bundled in, right?
what city in America is T-Mobile better than Verizon?
Are you
What state?
serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. What state in America
Los
is T-Mobile better
Angeles,
than?
Los Angeles, T-Mobile has significantly more market share because T-Mobile is better than Verizon.
Do they win? Like, is that just word of mouth verbatim? Some people talking about it,
No,
or is that
this
like
is
scientific data?
factual market share.
All right, so can you like
T-Mobile has
provide so
T-Mobile
can you?
has the #1 market share in Los
I'm not disputing.
Angeles.
I'm not disputing market share. I'm disputing performance of the network. So do you have like
Again,
scientific
see,
data that you could like?
this is why when we talk about performance on the network, like I said in the beginning intro, and this is why it's very hard to have a discussion about this, is because we here, when we say performance, think raw download speed,
No,
correct?
that's not what I said.
You
I'm
said
talking overall.
performance.
I'm talking performance. I'm not talking just about speed. I'm talking overall performance. So if
Again,
you like, so if you make, excuse
con-
me, if you make an assertion that they have a better network performance somewhere, my question to you, because you said based on the location, what location in America is T-Mobile better than Verizon? Like, what data are you using to come to that claim?
again, what is your definition of performance?
Well, I mean, there are several things. You've got accessibility, you've got reliability, of course, you've got call performance, you've got uh, downlink, you've got uplink. All these things go into the performance of a network. So my question to you is, if you're asserting that T-Mobile is better than Verizon in a particular area, my question is where? You said Los Angeles. So
root
based on
metrics.
that,
Root metrics.
so based on root metrics, or any, like, if you have something available, I just want you to share that with us, because to my knowledge, T-Mobile doesn't really win anywhere. There's 125 markets that RootMetrics tests, and there's 50 states. So which state do they win?
This is why I said from the beginning that when we have a discussion based off of quote unquote scientific, quote unquote root metrics, that's not what consumers care about. Only the enthusiasts base any comparison on the networks like that. Let's look at the facts, okay?
So
T-Mobile, hold up.
How do you determine facts?
T-Mobile is #1 in market share, not only in Los Angeles, but also in New York City, the hometown, the home base of Verizon.
Do they win in New York City or Los Angeles? Is what I'm saying. What are you using? What are you just using? Word of mouth? People saying whatever?
This is not word of mouth. My God. See, this is why I'm saying that.
So what is it then? So what is it then? So what is it, Moose?
Because these are the facts. And
but how are you
the facts?
How are you determining facts? I'm not disputing market share. If you're saying that they have larger market shares, so be it.
If Verizon was arguably the best in all these places, do you really think that everybody is going to be leaving the best? No.
Well, I mean, people do if the best is the most expensive, and you just said that they're the most expensive. Even though I dispute that, the perception is that Verizon is more expensive. So people are going for cheap stuff right now.
Louis, Verizon has the most customers in the country, so
by a lot, by millions. It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, so the way I can respect the fact that you're saying that there's market share shifting, and I think where the market share is shifting the most is places where the networks are more similar, where there's a network distinguish that where the networks can be distinguished, market share extreme swings, right?
I just want to understand the assertion that he made. That's all. Certainly wasn't trying to be combative, but I do take issue with the assertion that there's a network performance gap anywhere in the country. I just want to know where it was. He said Los Angeles, and so I was asking for data to substantiate a claim like that. I don't know if he's. I'm for sure he's not using RootMetrics for New York City or for Los Angeles. So I mean, maybe he took a poll, like, talk to some people on the street or something like that. I don't know. But I don't know of any scientific data that would substantiate the claim that they're better than Verizon anywhere in the country.
Definitely not an LTE.
Same thing for the states.
It's honestly ridiculous to have this conversation because
Moose, the problem is that you're trying to equate market share to network quality and network performance, but that's not the reality, and we all know that.
Again, that's a comment from a network enthusiast. When somebody is shopping for their new carrier, if they're hypothetically dissatisfied with their current carrier, what do they look for? They look for the price point, the value, and the promotion at the time.
So people know, based on perception, that they think T-Mobile is the cheapest you can get, and that they think their network is good enough. Not necessarily that it's better than Verizon, because people, I believe, know the perception again, and there's data to substantiate this as well, but the perception is that Verizon has a better network, but that they're more expensive. That was the whole reason for the rebranding today, to address that perception of cost and to address that perception of lack of value proposition. But it had nothing to do with network performance. If Verizon was getting beat up by T-Mobile with respect to network performance, I think that would probably be something that would be spoken up and talked about as well. But where have they won?
Real quick?
Absolutely, sure. Go ahead.
To add to kind of your point, why did Big Cable choose Verizon?
Well, last time I checked, they had a better network than anybody in America.
Why did Mobile X pick Verizon? I mean, these are just things like I'm thinking to myself is anybody can say anything, but like actions are the most important things, is what actually gets done with it, right? Because the number of connections on Verizon continues to extend every year. Even if their share on the branding side is down, they're still adding more connections each year. There's more customers on the Verizon network this year than there was last year and than there was the year before, and so on.
And I mean, with respect to that, even the churn numbers have begun to decrease. The amount of losses quarter over quarter continue to decrease. So it's not like Verizon hasn't tried to even address that. And even despite those losses, they're still the market leader in overall subscriptions. Like they got more customers than everybody, got more connections than everybody. So again, I don't want to be combative or anything like that, but I did have that question because I wanted to know what locations Moose was talking about in reference to T-Mobile having a better network. Because that's news to me. Go ahead, Sneed.
I mean, I think it's a fair point. If you've got two of the largest cable companies in the country that are choosing a MNO for their MVNO service, they're obviously going to choose the network that they think is going to serve their customers the best. And last time I checked, AT&T isn't entering any of those deals. Neither is T-Mobile, at least to a grand scale. You know, that's a very, very strong argument as to the performance of the network, regardless of where the customers are and who they're paying their bills to every month. The connections matter, and we need to take that into consideration when we're talking about this. Because just because T-Mobile has majority market share in XYZ PEA doesn't mean that the majority of the connections in that PEA are on T-Mobile. There's a good chance that a good chunk of those customers are on an MVNO that are just using Verizon's network.
And even still, they don't win in Los Angeles or in New York. Sneed, if you want to go to RootMetrics website and post it, just to fact check me, you can, so that all the viewers and the listeners can see for themselves. And I mean, of course, you're more than welcome to do that. But they really don't win.
I think we're lacking true focus here. We have to remain objective. A person does not choose a carrier simply on network. They also don't choose a carrier simply on perks or benefits. It's a collection. They may weigh certain things differently at certain times in their carrier choices. Moose, you nailed it today when we were discussing this. There are people who choose their carrier based on the best promotion. Whoever gives them the best deal on their iPhone or Galaxy.
And by the way,
yeah, go ahead.
Can you check your messages so you can fact check me on what I was talking about? Because this is what I mean by the facts. Sneed will be able to confirm or deny what I'm talking about in Los Angeles. And
that's what I was asking for.
The drastic disparity that is T-Mobile is just so dominant because
Verizon is at 34% market share. That's fair share.
Without a major MVNO in play, that's a third of the customers for three networks.
T-Mobile's 40%, and that's substantial. But I mean, there's markets where Verizon's 50 and T-Mobile's 20.
And even despite that, they still don't win in Los Angeles from a network performance standpoint. They may have more market share. They ain't winning in New York or in LA.
Yeah, they're good. They're good point plus behind Verizon in terms of RootMetrics.
Hey, Steve, didn't you share a video earlier today that talked about the fact that Verizon was catching up to T-Mobile in median download speeds by average in the entire country? Like they're closing that gap pretty fast with C-band and millimeter wave.
And Frank, what do you think's going to happen when AT&T is done with the Ericsson restructure? I mean, they're going to be right there too. Like these network things have ebbs and flows. T-Mobile had the jump with, the 5G stimulus package with Sprint. It was just a matter of time until the other guys just got to work and got spectrum.
Yep, T-Mobile's going to go back down to number 3. I mean, and this is coming from a T-Mobile customer, but Verizon will always have a superior network to the other two. And Dish isn't even in this discussion. There's no need to talk about Dish. But yeah, absolutely. Verizon's the number 1 best network in the country, and that's indisputable when they got Spectrum and Comcast, with the MVNO contracts, and they're also the enterprise carrier, and they're constantly adding business customers quarter after quarter.
Sneed, I hijacked the show. I apologize. If we want to get back on, continue with the show, we can. I apologize.
No, it's all relevant because Verizon doesn't do this rebrand if things don't need to be fixed or adjusted. So Moose has a point. It's valid. They're addressing the fact that they can't grow their market share on their branded side. Like, they do well with the home broadband, home internet. They're kicking ass. They're adding, 300,000-400,000 between business and residential. The home broadband piece is strong. What we're still seeing is general weakness in the postpaid phone net ads. And I think by addressing the broken phone thing, like that promotion, like that's very consumer friendly. They're promoting broken is beautiful. That is a slogan to get people to bring in broken phones and get a new iPhone or a new Galaxy from Verizon. You get what I'm saying? So like they're addressing and so they're addressing a customer pain point and they're addressing a business growth philosophy. Because when Verizon did add a lot of customers in certain quarters in the last couple of years, they were running that broken phone promo. And then when they took away the broken phone promo, they saw subsequent slowdowns.
And if we really want to make an apples to apples comparison as far as like promo deals, and we want to talk about T-Mobile Essentials, 4 lines for $120 with 4 free iPhones. At Verizon, the response to that is going to be you can get 3 or 4 lines on unlimited welcome for the same price for $140 with the auto pay discount. And during iPhone launch, I can guarantee you they're going to do 4 free iPhone 16s with a trade-in. So there's the comparison right there that B was asking for as far as comparing apples to apples. T-Mobile Essentials 4 lines for 104 free iPhones to Verizon, because they're going to launch that promo when the iPhones come out. That was also discussed today too. It just wasn't in the press release.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, even if you get the free phones, you also have to take into account from an entire value proposition standpoint that Essentials plan probably is going to give you the same network experience that the Verizon's Plus or Ultimate plan would give. So I mean, it's 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. If you want the free phones, that's fine, but you'll get a very basic network experience from T-Mobile. It's not an apples to apples comparison. It's not, and that's what I was trying to confirm. But based on what's just been articulated, I mean, yeah, that's not apples to apples in my opinion. Not if you're going to do Plus versus their most basic plan. It's not apples to apples. That's all I was trying to say.
Hey, Los, let me get you on this, homie.
Damn, took long enough. Jesus.
I'm
Christ.
sorry, man. Everybody's got to get their piece in, man. Go ahead.
So just like I said before, man, like what we were talking about earlier, and I was telling these fools on the Discord, at the end of the day, bro, the only reason why the other carriers are being aggressive on coverage is literally because Verizon has had the upper hand for decades. That's number one. Number two, the reason why fixed wireless has become a big game to these carriers, because all you're doing is getting people switching around for the best deal in the top 50 PEA. So what's another way to make some revenue that will stick and try to get the person to stay stuck with that carrier? It's fixed wireless access, because it's a pain in the ass to switch your home internet. So you get them stuck. That's it. Look at how it's working out for cable. It's working out great, right? So at the end of the day, man, all this really comes down to is the rebranding is just literally to try to get more market share from the top PEAs, to switch to them for the promo deal. And at the end, they'll end up leaving once the term's up, and they'll go to the next one.
That's
just how it works.
Los, this is something I had this exact conversation with B last quarter or the quarter before. We were talking about, these home broadband numbers. And I mentioned that at some point, Verizon is going to look to potentially attack the home broadband customer and use that as a bargaining chip to get them in on wireless.
Mm-hmm.
At some point that was going to happen, because organically they're not getting the customer to switch to Verizon branded. In fact, quite the contrary, they're choosing a cable operator because they're growing to the tune of basically 800,000 to 1 million subs a quarter. So the move appears, at least from what I was seeing and predicting was going to happen, is Verizon will get you in on the home broadband, help you save money to get away from cable or an expensive fiber option, and then they're going to do this and make your streaming bundles cost less too. And then let's say they've had you as a customer 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, they start sending you some phone deal options. They start sending you some wireless deal options. Hey, we can save you money by having you bundle these two services together. And this was a thing that B said several podcasts ago, where he said, you get to the table, right? You're now in the home because you have them for home broadband. You can start to talk to the customer, and that puts them in play for wireless. I mean, dude, let's not pretend like T-Mobile didn't just raise pricing. Let's not pretend like T-Mobile, hasn't created the opportunity for customers to churn. It's there. The opportunity is there. AT&T just raised pricing. I know it was just $1, but who knows? Maybe they're just like, maybe I'm looking for someone else. It creates opportunity, and that's all you want as a company, is to take share. You have to have that opportunity. Home broadband is an opportunity, and by the way, they build one network, they multi-purpose it. There's synergies in this. It's different than cable. Cable has to rent space on a mobile network. They don't own it, right? And this is another thing. The mobile operators knew that this was going to be a cost-effective way to build capacity. You got a 10 gig fiber circuit. The hell does it matter if you sell fixed wireless or not? You should. You're going to have excess capacity. You got a 10 gig fiber circuit. You got all your bands on there. It's going to be fast. You're going to have capacity.
But Sneed, I've talked to a lot of engineers myself, bro, and they all say, bro, the fixed wireless even doesn't matter how much capacity you have on it, it's a death warrant to the network. The only reason why it's there, it's literally for the top 50 PEAs. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about fixed wireless working in rural America. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All they care about is the top 50 PEAs, where people do the flippy flop, switching to the best promo every couple of years or 3 years. That's what they care about.
When you say they, who are you talking about, Los?
Customers.
Bro, about customers. I'm just saying, in general, bro, fixed wireless access is a death warrant to a network. I don't care what anybody says. You got multiple terabytes being used on a home internet access, and it has to be reliable like the hard line.
Well, I think that's probably true, but there'll probably be some caps probably introduced in next few years in order to be able to address that. So, but I do agree it is going to be tough to keep up with that type of network demand.
And Sneed, real quick, another thing before I forget to mention this, accordance with everything we're discussing tonight with the MyHome and the VHI, the Verizon Home Internet piece, they're no longer going to do a 2-year price guarantee. I don't know why they didn't mention this in the press release today, but now it's going to be a 5-year price guarantee under 5G Home Plus and a 4-year price guarantee under regular 5G Home with these new promos and with this new structure.
So this is what I was saying. They're literally attacking T-Mobile.
Every single pain point.
They're literally like the things that T-Mobile has been doing. They're doing the opposite. Like they are doing the phone upgrades. They're doing exactly what AT&T found success in, and they're taking the thing that they found success in at Verizon with the broken phone, and they're addressing the things that T-Mobile has introduced as horrible for their consumers.
And they're doing this without necessarily decreasing cost on the service plan. They're just increasing the value proposition, which is what Sneed said before, which makes a lot of sense. If you're a Verizon investor or whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that you accommodate them as much as you can, but also make sure that you also appease, existing and new customers as well. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's going to force the competition to respond in kind, as much as they can. But the things that Verizon is doing, it's expensive. When you're trying to be CapEx light, to AT&T, they're definitely spending a lot more, but I'm not sure how much longer they'll be able to keep up $24 billion in CapEx. Eventually, that's going to come down. So it's expensive to build out a network. You're already in third place from a deployment standpoint on your mid-band. T-Mobile, they haven't really said that they wanted to, increase their CapEx. So it's expensive to do the network stuff and also do all the things that Verizon's doing with respect to streaming services and bundles and all that kind of. I mean, they really do. It's a solid value proposition after today. It really is.
At the end of the day,
I think Verizon's in probably the best spot, especially considering we don't know how much of AT&T's CapEx is going to their fiber build. that could be a significant portion of their capex this year. And on top of that, they're having to go and rip and replace markets they already built with C-band. So that's a lot of wasted money. And T-Mobile's reducing their capex every single year. So if you're talking about fixed wireless potential and the growth, Verizon's the only one that's really in a position to grow that product segment and continue to grow it because they're just expanding their C-band build. They're not having to play catch up and they're not reducing their spend drastically like T-Mobile is. So
At the end of the day, all you guys, if you guys look at reality, you have to thank Verizon for putting the pressure on the other two to expand their coverage beyond the footprint they've had. There's been areas where Verizon has been covered for 30
Hold on,
years
Los.
before
Hold on.
an AT&T has touched,
Los, hold
or
on.
a T-Mobile.
Los, hold on. If it wasn't for this, the T-Mobile and Sprint merger, do we have the aggressive, competitive marketplace for fixed wireless? Do we have the competition of home broadband?
Well, no.
Do we have
T-Mobile was the first one that started that.
And do we have
That's
Verizon?
for sure, and I give them credit.
And do we have Verizon building C-band at a blistering pace, something unseen in the history of the industry?
Well, fixed wireless is not a new concept. That was launched during LTE. Verizon did have that product. It was called Home Fusion. So it's not a new concept. T-Mobile definitely didn't start that, but they're the ones that had the spectrum to deploy it at scale and have it be a meaningful alternative to people who did not have fiber to the prim as a service option in their location. That's the only difference. They're the only ones that had the spectrum to get something that was, close to a fiber to the prim experience. So they got a stimulus package. It wasn't necessarily, it's not an apples to apples comparison. The only one of the three that's been competing with no such stimulus has been Verizon. And yet, look at what we see. Like you said, the fastest C-band rollout, really the fastest network deployment rollout that we've seen from any telco in the last 25 years at least. Then when you add to that all the things that are going on and that's been announced today, I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know. But that's really what it's been about. It's about spectrum availability. When 5G first launched, they start with millimeter wave. Verizon does. I'm not sure that their strategy was to cover the entire country with 5G to begin with. It seems like it was going to be something that was more for a niche-like solution. For example, stadiums, in-building solutions, things of that nature. Things changed when, to T-Mobile's credit, they're the ones that started talking about nationwide, and we got the 600 meg spectrum and coverage, because they never had coverage before. The LTE network sucked. So they finally had a 10 meg, overlay that they could use to cover the country, or at least more of the country than they ever have before, and make themselves relatively respectable from a network performance standpoint on the coverage aspect. But that's really the whole difference. They just had spectrum. But now that C-band is available at scale, like the lead that they had will probably be gone by this time next year. And they know that. That's why they raise prices. They know that. They raise prices now while they can.
So let's do this. Let's bring this back around. And I think it's the elephant in the room. Verizon does this. What's T-Mobile's response? What is AT&T's response? So let's go start on the back end. Max, what do you think AT&T does? Do we get a response from them? Yes or no? If so, what is that? Same thing with T-Mobile.
All right. Well, hello again, y'all. I think AT&T is, again, like I said before, they're done with streaming and entertainment and media. Again, that's just kind of not what they want to be focusing on. And they've really been focusing more heavily on just solely internet, fiber internet and wireless bundle. And, with the internet era as well, it's just been wireless and internet, no regard for the entertainment services. So I could see them maybe ramping up the deals when you bundle the wireless and the internet. Maybe even bringing back the 25% off wireless lines, although that might actually not be the best idea for them at this point. Right now they have $20 off fiber when you have their wireless. So maybe we'll see that go up to 30 or 35. Because they really want you on their fiber. more so than Verizon does. Verizon's putting way more into fixed wireless, especially as we've seen today. They have the file stuff as well. My earbud just fell out of my ear. I don't think AT&T is going to have as much to do with streaming. T-Mobile, on the other hand, definitely wants more to do with streaming, for sure.
All right, let's get you in here. AT&T, T-Mobile, do they have answers? Will they answer? Is there a response from them?
Well, we will see. I would say T-Mobile usually is the first to respond. So I can see them responding to something. Either it's going to be a free line or a free phone, or they'll do something. They're going to respond. But AT&T, I don't know, man. I mean, AT&T looks at it like, why do we have to respond? We offer 25% discount on our wireless. We offer the best discounts, period. Every plan is eligible for our most current promotions. So what's new? What is Verizon doing so new that we aren't doing already, minus the bundling of the streaming services?
Yeah, they don't. But that's kind of my thing with this is specifically really an emphasis on MyHome and broken phone promotions and price
Yeah, but
guarantees for 4 or 5 years. Like, they don't offer that. AT&T doesn't have a price guarantee, neither does T-Mobile. AT&T doesn't have streaming services bundled and discounted. Uh, T-Mobile doesn't offer that on T-Mobile Home Internet. AT&T doesn't offer it on Internet Air. Like, they don't have
I'm
any value attached to their fixed wireless access like Verizon does.
But Sneed, this is where I'm gonna have to back Moose up on this, bro. And the value with AT&T is literally at the end of the day is their corporate employee discounts, bro.
But
Think
that's
about it,
like,
bro.
but
Like
but
you
Los,
can work at
price
almost
is
any
what you
company and
pay.
get discount.
Price
People
is
don't
what you pay.
care.
Price is what you pay. Value is what you get.
It's not
People
like
don't.
it's not like
People
they
don't.
$60 cheaper than Verizon with those discounts, man. We talking about a $25 difference, if that. If people are, that hard up and everything, for the sale, then I get it. I understand and I respect it. But you got to think from a value standpoint. To Sneed's point, there's going to be some people who are at least going to be interested in these streaming bundles and these streaming services because they're going to get it from somewhere. They're going to get it from somewhere, Los.
Look, here's the
They're
numbers.
going to get Netflix from somewhere.
Here's the numbers. This is
But look,
global numbers. This
but
is global numbers. 269.6 million subscribers on Netflix. 153.6 million subscribers on Disney Plus. 71.2 million subscribers on Paramount Plus. 50.3 million subscribers on Hulu. 40 million subscribers for Apple One and all their things. Peacock's 34 million. These are the top brands. ESPN has 25 million subscribers. These are the partnerships that Verizon has forged and now built into this bundle. Los, people pay for these services. That's value to MyHome.
okay, Sneed. But that's people are gonna look at the perspectives, bro. Like if you could save, 20, 25% off your wireless bill, where you're paying literally 5 lines on AT&T on the highest plan, you could be paying 140, 150, bro.
Los, I'm
What if
talking
20?
about
What if you
Los. I'm
paying? What if
talking
you paying Netflix $20 out of your pocket? What is that gonna
Los.
hurt you? At the end, you're still
I'm
paying
talking,
cheaper.
but I'm talking about home broadband. Internet Air is $60, and then if I'm going to pay for 3 services, we're talking about probably over $100.
I
I
had
don't
a
know, man.
conversation. I had a conversation with a buddy of mine that was adding up all the different things that he paid for. Right? Um, he paid for the ad services for, or sorry, the ad tier for Max, the ad tier for Paramount Plus, the ad tier for Netflix, and um, I forgot the other one. And Game Pass, right? And he was like, even if I added up everything, right, I'm still getting a significant discount by just staying with 25%
Oh,
off.
oh, hey Moose, I gotta interrupt you some. I gotta bring this. I think I might have some AT&T news. What if I'm gonna throw this out here? It's unofficial, but I'm gonna throw it out here. What if AT&T does the next upgrade any time program, meaning that you're allowed to upgrade after you make the first installment on your phone. You can upgrade then again and
That is
again.
officially announced. Like that's actually confirmed.
That is going to be a game changer. That's
But
like
that's
jump on
not,
demand back in service.
and I like that, but
I,
that's
I
not
don't.
specifically about the bundling of your internet
Yeah,
and
that
your
so
streaming.
Hold on,
yeah,
hold
so
on,
that
hold on.
approaches the phone upgrade piece.
The
I don't
next
think
up,
that's.
the next up has such a poor stigma around it already because of the way that reps have sold it for the last 5 years. I don't think that that's going to have nearly as much of an impact as you guys
No,
think.
no, no. The next up, you're talking about the old version. I'm talking about the new version. The new
It doesn't
version
matter.
where
It doesn't matter. I'm talking about the customer perception.
Don't you still have to pay off like 66% of the phone?
no,
Like
no. You just make
that's not what
one
was. That's not
payment.
what. That's not what was said today.
And not to mention, T-Mobile's had that jump on demand program for years, and it only serves such a niche part of their customer base. We're talking 1 to 2% of their customer base that takes advantage of that.
Before I switched to Verizon as an employer, T-Mobile got rid of jump on demand. That's gone. It's not a thing anymore.
At the end of the day, I don't think Verizon released this brand refresh and all these new promotions and whatnot to try to be the leader in growth. I think it seems to me like Verizon wants its fair share. They no longer want to be the only one of the three that loses customers. They just want their fair share. So, for example, if T-Mobile continues to get 750,000 crazies to add lines or do whatever, so be it. If AT&T does their 500,000 and it goes to 350, so be it. If Verizon ends up going to 200,000, so be it. If they get that amount and it's consistent and their churn decreases and they're continuing to get their wireless revenue and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it seems to me like Verizon will be happy with that. I don't think they're trying to necessarily be the industry leader in growth. I think it seems to me like they'd rather lead in profitability anyway, and just have some growth there in order to be able to appease the consumer. Of course, to reduce churn, and also to kind of get the stock price up and whatnot. So I don't think they're trying to lead everybody and get a million customers a quarter. They ain't trying to do all that. If they were, they probably would have lowered prices. But they did all these things without necessarily lowering prices. They just kind of significantly increased the value proposition.
All right, let me get
Sneed, check your text.
Moose in here. Got you. Moose, does AT&T answer? Does T-Mobile answer to any of this?
Well, like I said from the beginning intro, if AT&T, let's say within the next 3 months, responds with an equivalent of a, you know, uh, these type of perks, right? It's not an immediate reaction, right? Anything that happens in the wireless industry takes significant amounts of lead time, right? So that's number one. Number two, I think the most immediate response will be the trade-in promotions. This idea of guaranteed, basically it's the any year, any condition that they've been doing for iPhone, but now it's expanding to every single OEM regardless, right? So that might be the biggest response is that if T-Mobile and AT&T also do any year, any condition, right? Basically, it's like, hey, if they start seeing a significant amount of port outs prior to iPhone, they will be forced to do it. I'm just letting you know now. That's
Well,
how these
AT&T
things
has
work.
AT&T has done any year, any condition many times in the past.
Yes, but not on iPhones. Never on iPhones. Why? Because AT&T has more than 85% of their market share iPhone.
So you're
Why
saying
Good
would
on
point.
you?
Galaxies they've always done it, Moose?
Of course, they've
Yeah,
always done it
always on
on Galaxy.
Galaxy. Yeah.
Always,
Okay.
they just started with Pixel this generation. So the biggest response, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is on this. Okay, so Chacha Sneed will quote me on this later. If there's going to be a response, it's going to be because people are porting out in significant
And that's
numbers.
the only way.
That's the only way there's going to be a significant response in the short term. If there is a response in terms of the bundles, that is not an immediate response, okay? That is a response because of years or maybe even months in the planning. Trust me when I tell you this. It's not easy to create the plus play value proposition. It's not easy because to B's point and to EM's point, multiple partnerships have to be made, contracts have to be signed, the discounts have to be like there's multiple different things here, right? So that's not going to be the immediate response. But the immediate response will be the trade-in, 100%. If they see a significant amount of customers porting out because to Verizon because of their guaranteed trade-ins, I'm telling you, it will have to be changed to any year, any condition iPhone on AT&T. Which, by the way, will be the most interesting period ever because we anticipate, right? Everybody's saying, 95 Mac, John Prosser, everybody has anticipated that because of Apple Intelligence, this will be the super cycle that Apple has been needing and wanting. Okay? So that will basically mean to me that if AT&T is forced to do any year, any condition on iPhone, that will be the biggest, what's it called? Operational expense year ever for the company.
People
Because
are
you're
really
going to have
saying
to
that this is going
spend.
to be a super cycle year for the iPhones.
This has been what everybody's been saying that it's going to be a super cycle because of the iPhones. Because in order for you to get the Apple Intelligence, minimum you need an F15 Pro.
Well, here's the thing with the Apple Intelligence. I don't think it's as much on the carriers as it seems because, yes, there's the Chat GPT stuff, but most of Apple Intelligence processing is handled on device, not necessarily going out to the cloud servers.
Correct, but this has already been confirmed by Apple on the event. You need a minimum of a 15 Pro. How many
Right.
people have 15 Pros? Very few compared to all the millions of customers that are using iPhones today.
That's true.
So
I
not
think
to derail this conversation, but I want to get your guys' take on the new logo. I want to hear what everyone has to say about it.
What is it? The McDonald's arches?
I'm not a huge fan. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a
you
huge
see my
fan.
profile picture. See my profile picture.
Sneed, what are your
Honestly,
thoughts?
Let's see here. So, and I'll put it up so everybody knows what we're talking about. All right, colors. I'm good. I like the colors. I mean, red's one of my favorite colors. I like the kind of the use of the gold or the yellow and the kind of gradual fade, into orange and then red. I'm good with it. It's a simple logo. I didn't have a problem with the check. I guess the check didn't resonate with customers. I'm fine with it. It's cool. I don't think I think what's important is that when people see this, right, those first few commercials that they make as the rebrand are going to be crucial, which is why I think they're using the Can You Hear Me Now theme for the first couple commercials, right? So they're going to use the legacy Can You Hear Me Now piece, connect it to this new refresh look so that people know, oh, Verizon, I know that company, network coverage, they got the best calling network. Like Verizon should probably also like let it be known, hey, we got this incredible data network too, right? But really what they're just trying to do is capitalize on the branding portion that people know and get away from the check mark because they said only 30% of people knew the check mark was associated with Verizon. So I'm good with it. Color's good. They're de-emphasizing the black color, right? So they're going more vibrant. They're going more lively, I guess is what you would say. It's just the most important thing, bro, is going to be execution with the marketing. They got this new CMO, Leslie. She's from Peloton. She's from X. She's got all this experience with brands, and she worked with all these different agencies, and they probably pulled together a ton of ideas. You know, she's going to get a lot of money from the CEO. Hans is going to, like, guys, don't be surprised if Verizon pulls back on the network in order to spend on the marketing a little bit extra. Like, that could be a thing. It just has to work. You know, there's nothing wrong with the Verizon brand per se. It just needs a spark. They have to bring life back into the brand because T-Mobile kicked their ass for the last 10 years in branding. Let's be honest. That's what this is about.
That's a good way to put it.
And John Leisure's not even around anymore. So the fact that Verizon hasn't come back strong is kind of embarrassing. If there is a blemish on Hans' record, the CEO of Verizon, it is marketing. I think the network direction is fantastic. The investment into fiber, future-proofing the network, I think all that's great. The marketing has been atrocious. They had the Einstein commercials for a while. Those didn't resonate with the customer. The whole Manone experience with consumer, you know, and Ronan at the end, like the consumer direction. I mean, Sampath seems to have stabilized things. MyPlan seems to be very marketable. You know, they seem to have structure there and a good direction. They just have to get their marketing right. But, you know, you have to have good deals and let people know how good they are. And then that helps retail, which helps revenues, which helps margins because you can upsell. You know, like all these things come into play. You know, one hand washes the other. You can't have a company that has any type of weakness. And Verizon marketing has been a very noticeable weakness. It's like you're in the beauty pageant and you show up with a black eye. How you going to win that pageant, bro?
That's fair.
Wearing the Gators.
Wearing the Gators? Come on,
and
bro.
the golf polo. Honestly, you know, I'm really agreeing here. Manon and Diego missed it. Sampath and Leslie, I think they get it.
Yeah, I think as long as much as I may not be a fan of the new logo, as long as they execute with it, I think it'll be good. And
I'm telling you, we'll know all this is working when the quarter, and this is when we know. Q2 ends in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever, this week. Q3 starts next week. We're going to have Q3. We can compare to last year's Q3. We're going to have Q4. We can compare to last year's Q4. We'll know if any of this is working by the end of this year. By January, we'll have a half a year of data.
we'll see. I'm just glad they got away from the denim and the vests for those.
Bro, the
retail
denim
folks
was
out there.
atrocious, bro. Dude, I didn't know that people still wore blue jean jackets, bro.
Oh yeah.
That was bad.
And the Verizon Vestices was not the move, bro.
The vests were crazy. Like,
I mean, nobody's shopping at a phone company because their
Bro,
reps
did you
look
hear
good.
what the assistant CMO said? He's like, I want to see them wearing it out to the bars, bro. He's talking about the
I
t-shirt.
saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. He was talking about the
Come on,
t-shirts.
bro.
I saw the.
Come on, bro.
I saw the article. I acknowledge all those
Bro,
things.
our T-Mobile employees rocking T-Mobile hats at the club, bro, getting their swerve on.
I
I'm
mean,
sure
your guess
they
is
are.
your
I'm
guess
sure
is
they
as good
are.
as mine. I really don't know, to be honest. This is really not my forte. I don't really care too much about what the reps are wearing. If it helps the sales, then I'm sure great for Verizon. But to what Ian was saying, you know, the logo and everything, I don't really mind it. It's red. Like 98% of it is red. So it's Verizon. It needs to be on billboards and all that stuff. Get the name out there so people can talk about it. Blah blah blah. Get some commercials out there, make people laugh. Blah blah blah. This is, I mean, marketing is not hard. It's really about repetition, getting it in people's minds. and then of course giving them the value propositions that they're looking for. I think that these things do that, and now it's just about execution. I'm not sure if the network is going to have to be spent on less, but maybe something else that needs to, be addressed in order to increase the marketing dollars. But to Sneed's point, I do agree that marketing has been, a sore spot for Verizon. I think that goes back before Hans to Lowell McAdam, because Diego was a Lowell McAdam hire, not a Hans hire. So you can't put that all on Hans. The fact that Diego's not here anymore, that was a Hans decision. Now, should it have come earlier? I think an argument, could be made that it probably could have been made earlier, but he did make the move. He did not hire Diego. That was a Lowell McAdam move. So from a marketing standpoint, since the original Can You Hear Me Nowadays, that's never really been, at least in my opinion, you guys can maybe disagree, but that's never really been a strength of Verizon. They've always been kind of a straight and narrow. This is what we want to do. We're going to show up in a suit and tie. We're not really going to make you laugh or anything like that. We're just going to be about the, business is what they've always kind of shown everybody. So maybe things change now with this lady. Maybe she's able to get some things going and make things a little bit cooler, all that kind of thing in order to be a customer. Whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. As long as the value proposition is good and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what matters most. So
I just think it's a little goofy, but
to Moose's point, he was talking about the market share earlier. Does any of this impact market share?
No, I don't think so.
I think it could over time. To Moose's point, and he's right. These companies, particularly the three MNOs, they're huge, and you don't just turn them like they're Dodge Darts. These are huge, Titanic-sized companies, and it's going to take some quarters. It's going to take some time to move the ship, but it was heading in the right direction before this rebrand was done. So as far as the losses, I'm not sure why Moose said, market share was going down to the tune that he was talking about, when according to what's officially been released by Verizon, the amount of losses has decreased quarter over quarter for several quarters now. So things were already getting better before they did this refresh and this rebrand. So I'm thinking that things are probably going to get better. They'll probably be in the black again with respect to growth and everything. They were already doing well in home broadband, doing over 400,000 units, a quarter, like 5 of the last 6 quarters or something crazy like that. So I anticipate that this will only accelerate that growth. And then if they can just fix phones, that's really been the only real area that the company's really struggled in, from what I could see. Everything that they've released, they've hit on revenue, they've hit on profitability, they've hit on broadband. They just haven't been able to sell enough fucking phones. Let's be honest. It's been phones. And so now you got this whole promotion and everybody can get a phone, you get a phone. That's, if that doesn't appease, then I don't know. But most people, I don't see why they wouldn't. You got a company, all due respect to AT&T, you have a company who's literally been giving people nothing but a free phone. And they've been able to get 500,000 people almost every quarter. And they haven't given anything but a free phone. That's it. No perks, no nothing. Just network and a phone. That's it. So to me, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What are we going to do about this on the screen?
Totalmente.
What do you mean? Like, what's going to change as far as the check at the end, or?
You think they'll just drop the check mark?
Yeah. Probably. Just change the V to the V to the, their new V, and then I guess keep the total. I don't know, Sneed. I'm not a marketing genius. I don't really care. At the end of the day, put something out there that people is going to resonate, and make sure that it's congruent and parallel with what's happening on postpaid, and just get it out there. To Verizon's credit, I see Total by Verizon advertisements and stuff all the time on social media.
Yeah, I do too.
I see it on billboards.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
they're really targeting Hispanics with Total by Verizon. It's a heavy Hispanic push.
Absolutely. I see it. So, to their credit, it seems like the company is trying. You hope that shows through in the results in the second quarter. We'll see. But it doesn't seem to be for lack of effort. I mean, I think they have like 700 brand new stores for total by Verizon across the country. Many of them are in Los Angeles, to Frank's point. So that's a good thing. And it's just going to be about consistency at this point. Just keep it up, and eventually, have some good promotions. Eventually, it'll crack, and they'll probably get some growth in that area as well. The goalpost isn't that high in prepaid. If you can get 30,000, 40,000 new customers every quarter, I mean, that's good enough for prepaid. So you're not talking about a huge goalpost there. You get a little bit of contribution there, and then continue to hit on mobile broadband and home broadband and all that kind of thing, and then fixed phones. And there's really nothing. There's no chinks in the armor for Verizon outside of phones and prepaid.
Let's get to the super chat here from Kevin. Thank you, man. Big salute. Did you think the Verizon updated logo brand was underwhelming? I like the idea of Verizon trying to refresh, but nothing seems too new to me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the rebrand. I don't think there's any problem with the logo. The design is good. It's simple. It's a bright color. That was their goal. Now, if they said we want to brighten up and create a more vibrant brand, and then they left it black, that contradicts that. So I think they did what they intended to do. They hit their mark. They wanted to go vibrant. They wanted to go lively. I think that's what they're doing within the stores, within the retail space as well. So their goals, I think they're going to achieve what they set out to do. So to me, I'm good with it. Changing your logo doesn't necessarily fix slower sales in certain segments, right? That's going to be a combination of promotions, consumer awareness. It's going to be more about the marketing with the brand being at the forefront.
Well,
yeah, I think it's about how they capitalize on it going forward, not necessarily the initial launch of the rebrand.
Yeah, I don't think so. Here's the thing: this is not going to affect the existing Verizon customers. Like, just the rebrand, it's not going to affect them. This is not going to affect the Verizon customer that was screwed over by them 20 years ago and doesn't want to see them ever again. This is for the people that are new to Verizon. This is a way to show these new people, hey, we're Verizon, we're lively, we're bright, we're different than we were 20 years ago. We're different than we were, like 6 or 7 years ago, when our last CEO was telling everyone to go to hell if you didn't want to pay a high price. Like, look, and what they're trying to do is the polar opposite of that. They want to appear more casual, more kind of normal compared to something like T-Mobile, who has had a brand identity similar to this for 12, 13, 14 years, and attract them, and through that, like, through a casual looking brand, get people comfortable with getting the whole package, the phone, the internet, the streaming. And once you've got them into that bundle, it's easy for a customer to port out of a phone carrier. It's much harder when you've got a bundle of all these different things that you gotta switch out. So this is Verizon's way to get them in, basically a ladder into a walled garden, in a sense.
I got to ask Los this question. Los, with Verizon starting to be a little bit more casual, looking to be maybe more hip, the vibrance and all that, do you think we start to see employees twerking at the retail stores just like we saw with like T-Chains and T-Mobile and all of that during the pandemic?
Bro, they might as well just start doing the green hair and the blue hair. Might as well do that too. Get hip to the
Los,
hop, right?
you remember T-Chains, remember?
Yeah.
When they were doing all
Bro,
the
they start doing.
TikToks and doing all the dancing and pushing the brand. Remember that?
Oh God, bro. Yep, I remember. I remember, sir.
I think
And it
bringing
was
back the "Can you hear me now" guy was a super smart play.
well, I don't know if they're bringing
what?
back the guy, but they're bringing back that like campaign sort of for
hold
the
on.
first
So,
couple ad spots.
What they should have done, bro, is this is what I think. They should have done like a new rebrand of the "Can you hear me now?" Is they should have did a video chat that "Can you see me now?"
I like
Ooh,
that.
You know what I'm
that would have
saying?
been
That's
smart.
good. That's good.
That would have been catchy right there. Feel me?
Close.
And put
Hold on.
me in the
So,
commercial.
So hold on. I don't know how many of you saw this, but on the Verizon YouTube channel, they have like a new brand video. It's about a minute and a half. And it started with a Verizon engineer popping out of a sewer asking, "Can you hear me now?" And he looked a lot, he wasn't Paul Marcarelli, but he looked a lot like him. So they were
Wait, that
kind of, they were kind
wasn't him. I could have swore that was him.
no, no, that was someone that looked like him. No, because Paul sold out to Sprint and then T-Mobile in 2020. Paul did a little video for T-Mobile in 2020. He's done with Verizon. He he took he went where the money was, which was Sprint, and now you know why they didn't have enough for their network. And Marcella was crying. Th- He's not going back to Verizon. That was his doppelganger in a Verizon commercial, and presumably an actual Verizon engineer.
If nothing seems too new, actually go into a retail store. There's nothing dark, red, or black about the inside of a Verizon store, at least not at my store right now. Everything is colorful and vibrant, and the uniforms are going to reflect that too. Not that I think that's going to have a huge impact, like I think Los was saying on the current customers, but the new customers coming in, now they're going to be like, oh, there's a pink brand over here, but over here there's a rainbow brand. Let's go there and see what's going on there.
Well, they just want to appear more casual in general to get people more comfortable with a bigger bundle of different services.
Free
Bro.
gators with every purchase.
Then they might as well let them wear tutus and how do you call it? Some the V chain. You know, they might as well get them a V chain too.
And get them the chef's hat like Chef John Ledger.
Jesus, man. And you might as well let Hans just grow his hair out and look like what's that dude from Scooby Doo? Shaggy. Rather look like Shaggy.
Shackles on her feet.
Uh,
You owe me.
Jesus, bro.
And get everyone a chef hat and just make a big red 40 layer cake.
Will say, I just watched this whole commercial. They really hit on a lot of the big things that Verizon's been pushing over the last few years. The coverage aspect, and then also like all the big venues. They got the NFL playing there and all these
They
other
got the
things.
yellow.
And they got the yellow. This is a really good commercial
Yeah.
actually.
I like the yellow. I wish it would have been orange because that's my color, which I own. But yellow's fine too.
My only complaint, I think they should have done more of like a gradient, like red, orange to yellow in the beat. I think that would have looked a lot better.
Definitely, because that would give me some more orange representation.
And hey, Sneed, just because we went off topic, but could I answer real quick to the previous question to if AT&T and T-Mobile will respond to this?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think, like Los was saying, AT&T won't do too much. I mean, they got the next up thing coming back, obviously, but T-Mobile definitely has to respond because just prior to my departure, they were talking about taking a lot of things away. Like the Netflix thing is going to change here in the next couple of months. Um, Paramount Plus is gone. They used to give that away as well with the Go 5G Next and Plus plans. That's gone away. But they're gonna have to respond with something because now, especially with the 40, 30% off, 50% off for the YouTube TV for bundling it in with your Verizon services, that is going to have a huge penetration because on its own right now, if I'm not mistaken, I remember watching one of your videos last week. I think that you had said that right now YouTube TV is the the most downloaded and the most paid for subscription service for streaming.
Live TV,
So
yes.
yeah. So with that being heavily discounted, who's not to say, hey, I'm going to just go get a line on Verizon, get my internet with them if I qualify, and pay 160 for all three services together because that's what they're shooting for, bundling. And T-Mobile was the one that initiated the whole bundling aspect of plans and streaming services, so they're going to have to respond. I don't think AT&T is going to get back in that space at all. They're more focused on catching up with the network build, but T-Mobile definitely has to respond to this.
Well, you know what I've noticed about AT&T? They are very locked into place. They don't just change with the industry like as much. Right. They were the last and the most expensive to do a 4G LTE unlimited plan. And when they did, you had to have their DirecTV satellite service to access such a thing. right? T-Mobile did and Verizon did radical changes to their plan lineup last year. This year we got like a little more hotspot and a $1 price increase. This is not a company that wants to change. Their answer to the entertainment stuff is get our direct TV stream. That's their answer. That's what they're like prominently advertising at the back of their stores. The, and T-Mobile, they're going to respond. They're going to have a home internet and streaming bundle. I'm calling it right now. Quote me, write this down. T-Mobile in the next, I'm going to say the next quarter, is going to launch some type of home internet plus streaming deal.
Max, that's not a slam dunk. I know you seem like you have a lot of confidence in that, but they're moving in the opposite direction. That's them making a U-turn. They're dying to be more profitable, bruh.
Well, what they're trying to do, they're removing a lot. They're dialing it back on the phone plans, right? I think they used to even have Hulu on some of the lower plans. Now it's only on Go 5G Next. Like they're dialing it back on the phone plans because they want those lines to be more profitable. Home internet, and they want to keep seeing crazy growth in this space, and they've already kind of did this a little bit. I think now they're gonna dial it up further.
Let me get to these super chats and comments from the members. Salute Southwest Ohio speed testing with the super chat. Thank you. Want to give everyone their roses. T-Mobile home internet is garbage. Fast at first. Now can't load the T-Life app. Sorry, I didn't listen to everyone. Hey, you never know till you try it, man. Sometimes it works for people. Other times it's one of those situations where you got to return it and it just doesn't work out, man. But thanks for the super chat. Green, member for 12 months. Do you think Dish will deploy millimeter wave? They have licenses, but I doubt it. They still haven't deployed CBRS to a large scale, and that's an actual mid-band frequency. So I don't know what they might do maybe some DAS stuff, maybe I don't know. And then this next one, super chat from Kevin. Salute to you, thank you. How has AT&T gotten by so long with no perks? They got rid of them, and they just focused on giving people the best deal on iPhones and Galaxies.
And I was thinking about going to them too.
They'll give you the best deal on a phone.
True.
You know, you trade in your oldie and you get yourself a newbie.
That's debatable now. They don't have the best upgrade. That's debatable now. I mean, I think I genuinely think Verizon has addressed every pain point that customers had with respect to upgrades, with respect to home broadband, with respect to their their price plans.
Just one little thing. You're not getting shit on unlimited welcome. That's a $65 plan. AT&T's $65 plan, you'll get all the beans. Not on Verizon's lowest options. They're offering.
They will when iPhones come out.
Right. With the Unlimited Ultimate is the only plan that does the new and existing customer deal. And I will give them credit on the Unlimited Plus plan, which, to take back some of the credit, is very close in price to Ultimate. But on Plus or Ultimate, new lines with no trade can get the 15 or that's 24 for free.
That's not true. That's not necessarily true from the standpoint of they may not get those phones for free, but according to what was released today, customers, regardless of plan, will get something with the trade-in. That's better than it was before.
No, they are straight up giving away free phones right now. I just upgraded my sister's phone, and there were a whole lot of free iPhone 15 deals with adding a new line. So there's deals to be had, and they're a lot better than what people are giving them credit for right now.
Yeah, right now, what the whole purpose of the rebrand is to fight the negative perception around the company that they don't have any deals. That wasn't true before the rebrand. I've been talking about it since the days of the 5G Get More plan. There have been deals for a long time. The problem with Verizon has just been perception. And, Diego, for whatever reason, he never really seemed to want to address that perception. All of his, commercials were still about the strength of the network, which is fine, but people already know that Verizon's got a kick-ass network. Yeah. You got to do something to attack the perception that there's no deal or that there's no value proposition that's there. You have to address that. He never even really tried. To this lady's credit, she hasn't even been there a year, and she's already at least trying. So, hats off to her. Yeah. I'm not, again, the bar is not, I don't think Verizon's bar is set to, we need to grow $1 million customers. No, I don't think they're trying to do that. I don't think they're trying to necessarily outgrow a T-Mobile, for example. I think they just want their fair share. And if they get 200,000 to 300,000 new customers, new phones or whatever a quarter, I think that they'll be fine with that. Because again, they already got more customers than everybody. Even with the quote unquote bleeding, they still got more customers than everybody. And it's not even close. They still got millions more than everybody else. So, I mean, I think they just want their fair share. As long as it doesn't, impact their financials, I think they just want their fair share. Even if that means they're third, last place as far as their number of growth or the amount of growth. If it's a healthy amount and it doesn't impact their financials in a negative way, I think Verizon's fine with that. And I think their investors
will
will be
gain
too.
from this. T-Mobile got rid of the porting credits from Verizon and AT&T customers, and the only way to get a porting credit at all right now is to bring your own device. And if you bring your own device, you can't stack that promo at T-Mobile with getting a free phone. It's either the port-in promo or the free phone. You can't stack them both anymore. And at Verizon, you can. You can get the free phone when you add a new line, and you can also get the rebate for the home internet on the same plan. At T-Mobile, you can't do that anymore. They were really sucking at value propositions these last couple of months.
Well, I mean, because their priorities have changed. They've switched from being the company that wants to attack growth. Now they're attacking profitability. And I mean, honestly, they probably should, because I think they want to increase CapEx and they think they're probably going to have to. And so the only way to do that is to increase revenue and increase profitability so that you have that money to reinvest back into the business. I think that's what they're doing, because I mean, unless they're stupid, they got to know you can't compete at 9 billion a clip per year when your competition is doing at minimum 17, and then this year AT&T is doing 24. It'll go down, but I mean, at minimum 17 compared to 9, you can't compete long term at scale. You're not going to be able to do that. You have to increase the amount of money that you're bringing in, which is why they're shutting off the free stuff and they're making people pay now.
But
It is what it is.
Hey, 10, I want to do you a solid, bro. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put together the SMT Nation. Everybody who's in the live chat, if you would like to drop a comment for Tana to take a look at, we'll pull up some of the better ones too.
Oh, cool.
Tana wants to switch carriers. He wants to move from, what is it, Spectrum?
Yeah, Xfinity Mobile Spectrum.
Oh, Xfinity. Okay, he's switching from Xfinity. So Comcast, Xfinity Mobile, he wants to change. Where should he go? Who should he consider? But make sure you give a rationale. Give him a reason why he should choose that one. Tell him.
Appreciate that.
Yep, so we'll pull together. We'll pull up some of the better stuff that's in the chat. Tana.
You already know where I'm at, Tana. You know you need to go to Verizon, man. We've been talking about we've been talking about the value proposition all night long, man.
B got the red thongs.
You're really not gonna find anything better out there.
Tell him what your primary focus is. Like, what is the most important thing, and then tell him what your second most important thing is.
Oh, yeah, unlimited plan, of course. You know what I'm saying? That's it. 5G. That's it. Basic. I'm basic with it as far as like my qualifications for a phone service and whatever. And B, I pretty much got Verizon now with Xfinity. They run up Verizon towers.
Exactly.
What about your home internet? What do you got for home internet right now?
Oh, I got Xfinity, but I have no complaints with the home internet. It's super fast.
So are you just looking to switch your mobile service, or are you also looking to switch your home internet service?
Just the mobile service for now.
Okay.
Tana, how many lines you
have? 2.
2, okay. Tana, what I need you to do, I need you to go onto my YouTube channel. I need you to find a big video, the best cell phone plans for B.
Oh, flip phone.
No. He gonna have you on Tello or some crazy mess.
No, right? That ain't target, is it?
Personally speaking, if you're looking for just good network access, I'd do Visible Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, I go for that too.
No, 2 lines US Mobile Unlimited Basic for $80.
Yeah. Bro, since the Xfinity is messy for internet broadband, man, my internet kind of fast. I ain't gonna even hold you. I have no. He probably talking about for the phone, so he probably right about the phone. I don't know.
So how much are you paying per line on Xfinity right now?
$30 per line.
$30 a line. Okay.
It's gonna be tough to beat that price, homie. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I've been looking around.
But you might get a more truly unlimited plan, right? One that's so like if you and the other, because you got the two lines, are using heavy amounts of data, those
Right.
cable MVNOs sometimes give you kind of like limits. It'll slow you down after like
Anna.
30 gigs or whatever.
Right, and
And
that's what Xfinity
Also,
do.
is are new phones part of this equation or no? Are you planning on keeping your phones?
No, I'm gonna rock my 14 Pro
Okay.
all right,
and
Tana,
the other phone I got. Yep.
Tana, I'm gonna give you the definitive answer. Okay.
All right, here we
You.
go.
All right. B. Get excited. It's Verizon. U.S. Mobile Unlimited Starter, $50 a month total for both lines, and that's
Hey,
it. If that's on Verizon network, you get 35 gigs of data. All of it is prioritized, QCI 8, all the beans. You get a little bit of hotspot and some extra funsies. $50 for both the lines. Can't
that's
beat that. You
that's
want you want new phones? You can easily fit those in the budget with all that money you save.
yeah, you ain't lying.
And
Hey,
taxes
So
and fees included too with that.
yep. So just
ah,
get that one. Just get that one. All right, Dana.
said yeah,
My
US
my question
Mobile.
with US Mobile is, can he mix and match the premium and the starter if he wants to?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I'd do US Mobile then.
Yes,
Right.
U.S. Mobile, hands down. Just
Yeah,
get that, and you're done
yeah, I'm checking out. I'm looking at them right now. Hey, thanks for the heads up on that.
for sure. See, this is why you gotta check out my YouTube channel, bro.
Yes,
But if you're looking for the best price, you can't beat Mint Mobile, and we got a partner link for that shit, son.
oh,
And it's already been
Sneed,
proven that
yeah,
Sneed,
you
T-Mobile
do.
has the
Here it
most
is, right
market
here.
share.
All right.
Sneed. I got a partner link for Verizon postpaid. B's about to get excited. I
Oh
got
damn. So whatever you decide on, you just let us know, man. So you can
Oh,
break us off a
yeah,
piece. You feel me?
for
Montana.
sure.
B and Max 2024.
Let it be a record. Needs a
You,
sellout to sweaty armpits.
you know what? I've been agreeing with B today more than I usually do. So, but that's just because Verizon actually did something good, and of course he's gonna say it's good.
Well, I mean, they've been doing stuff good, so
Okay.
it's not like it's just not happening.
Bro, don't bring
Well,
up Manon. Don't even do it. Don't bring up Manon.
you know, what? I'll give him a pass on that today.
No, she was fired in like 2022. When are we gonna let that go? When are we gonna let that
Dog,
go? She's been gone for
she
like 2 years.
right. I know that, but when she was there and with Diego and the crap services with crap marketing,
We gotta let that go, man. We gotta let that go.
all right. But you know what? Sampath and Leslie are doing a great job now.
I mean, it could get better.
It
I
could.
think it will.
There's more upside. There's a lot of running room, and it's your
Yeah.
chance. You got to think about it. You strike while the iron's hot. T-Mobile's been doing consumer unfriendly things for the last 2 years.
But you know what, Sneed? It worked for them, and if it works for them, they're gonna keep doing it.
I don't know, man. I think you got to make it very, very clear. If you haven't looked at what we're selling and our offers, you're not doing yourself any solids. You're missing out on good opportunities to get good value.
I agree. This is the time to be aggressive and let the people know.
Right.
Let the people know. I mean, let the people know.
Competition makes everyone better. If the other two
100%.
if the other two don't respond to these moves by Verizon, then they're going to be left in the dust because only one carrier has the best network. And I'm a current T-Mobile customer, but hey, now that I can get 75% off an unlimited ultimate plan, I know where
Damn.
I'm going.
Damn.
I mean, to Sneed's point,
75.
it really has been a marketing issue with Verizon because they've had plans that have been very competitive for quite a while now.
Let's not forget
So,
though, customer care is trash.
man,
Oh,
But
with all
that's
the
across the
guys.
whole industry, though.
because
Everybody's
yeah, about to say
outsourcing.
you're gonna find a group of people in all three MNOs. They're gonna say customer service is trash.
All
So
right,
I
but
mean,
US Mobile is rock solid and they're cheap. So
whatever.
Verizon has no excuse.
Yeah,
They
and
got
Verizon
you
has
ain't
no
they
you
got
excuse.
ain't
like
touching
13
mint, bro.
customers.
You
They got
ain't
like
touching mint
13.
though.
They got
I'm
like 13 customers, man. I don't know about US Mobile,
13
but
customers.
I mean, as far as the
Well, they about to
MNOs
get
are
two more.
concerned, maybe Santa didn't say that. We don't know. I don't know. We'll see
No,
what happens.
Hey, this Mint Mobile on 3 months for $45 is kind of attractive to me right now.
I'm saying, dog, you can save that guap,
How's
bruh.
the T-Mobile coverage in your area, Tanner? How's T-Mobile in your area?
Oh, strong. Most people in Chicago got T-Mobile.
Tana, if you're gonna get Mint, can you do me a solid and use my link?
Shots fired.
Sneed, hang up on that man, yo.
No, I love Max, bro. No. Max,
being
don't do me
with
like
it,
that,
man.
Max versus Sneed in a triple threat match. Book it, Triple H.
Man.
All I gotta do to be president is just say I won't die in the next 5 years, and I win that election. Like I might as well just do it. I might as well just do it.
That's the sentiment right now.
I might as well just do it. Like I might as well just become president. Unlimited spectrum for all carriers. Carriers
Sneed
got
becomes the head of the FCC.
crazy competition under my leadership. Prices are going down for everyone. Networks going up for everyone. Sleepy poopy pants Joe can't do that.
Yeah, and we would get bombed
Sneed,
by
real
every
quick,
enemy of America.
Can I?
The military would not be able to communicate, and we would all die, and it would be your fault.
Yeah.
Hey, Sneed,
you, bro.
Just a quick update on my whole fasting thing. Not to randomly change the subject, but I am down 10 pounds in my first 5 days of fasting. So,
Damn. Congratulations, man!
Yeah.
Congratulations, my good sir. That's what's up, man.
18-6 is not easy, but it's definitely paying its dividends for sure.
Congratulations, man. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Tana.
They only got
appreciate it. Thank you.
Here I am eating like 30 wings a day, bro.
Man, I just made some delicious air fried chicken tenders.
Y'all are not helping him, man. Y'all are not helping him at all.
Boy, you are the devil.
Y'all are not helping him at all, man. Come on. About to say, let me get a chicken tender, man.
All right, my phone's about to die.
So good to make you slap your mama.
Bro, Marcelo with the freaking like ravioli.
How are the cheese curds at Culver's?
Yo, the cheese curds were kicking, bro. They were kicking.
Man. Hey, Steve, you like Culver's too, man? I just had some of that.
I just went for the first time. I did a live stream. Me and the little one, bro. We went over there.
Nice.
I got the mushroom and Swiss burger. I got the cheese curds. I got a root beer float. She got the frozen custard. It was all hitting, bro.
Yes, Culver's is that business. It's that deal.
The little one didn't like the root beer float though. She wasn't happy with that.
Because bro, you know how like root beer kind of has that malt flavor to it. You know, she ain't gonna like that, bro. She was probably thinking it was gonna be like a milkshake or something. You know what I mean?
She's fast as lightning, though. I'll tell you that. She darted quick to go change that drink.
Yep, we're gonna probably do. We're gonna try to do a weekly live stream at a different like food joint. You know, I don't know. Nice. We'll see what we could do next. Something I haven't tried yet. There's new stuff popping up here all the time. Tana, you feel like you're a little bit more informed now after looking at some of those options?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing the phone shopping now, just in case I want to flip over on a second.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, listen, if you're gonna do a phone thing, you just hang out for a few more months and wait for that 16 to come out. You feel me?
You got a great point.
And then you're gonna get all that AI goodness, whatever the hell they're doing these days, the kids with their AIs.
Yeah, because I'm gonna keep my 14 Pro. I love this boy. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
When I had the second one on that, on the 16.
Yo, Ted, do me a solid, bro. You got anything in the archives, bro? Something I'm looking for something, a unique sound for the intro for my channel, bro. Is it you got anything that you got sitting around that you know could be some fire for the channel, bro?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I work on that for sure. No problem.
Send it over, bro. Let me get something new, man. I fucks with everything you make, bro. The whole thing is loaded. You know,
I appreciate it. And you got so many from me. You know what I'm saying? This one on me. I got you, bro.
Hey, we need some fire, bro.
Yes, sir. No problem. Yes, sir. Man,
I might drop a hot 16 on it, bro. You never know, bro. I might.
Hot damn.
No,
I might do it, bro.
We need the SMT. Dan, we need the SMT Nation song. Sneed in it, EM in it, me in it, even B maybe.
Ted, I don't know if this is possible. Can you take a sound from any of my podcasts? It might have been my voice. It might be someone else's voice. Get a sound and just loop it and build it into the beat, bro. And to create an original sound.
It could be the hook.
Gonna make it.
It could be the chorus or something, or the hook or something. Yeah.
Dude, we're not gonna make it.
I gotta find something and send it over to him because I ain't gonna have him just trying to pluck shit out of
Sneed,
random live streams, bro.
I have a playlist on my YouTube account called Best SMT Podcast. I'm gonna send you that. Right?
I bet. Thanks a lot, Max.
Appreciate it, Tana. And you know what you could do to show your appreciation back to me if you wanted to help me out? Use my Mint partner link.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
All right, guys, solid.
I'll be sending you that.
Good show. Good show.
Yes,
Tana,
sir.
if you have any other questions, bro, text me. We'll
Yes,
try
sir.
to get you in the right direction. And then shout out to Los, who was here earlier. Moose was here earlier as well. Shout out to
Oh,
EM.
man, I miss Moose.
Frank.
All right, cool.
Yeah, he was already here. The clapping was happening. Shout out to B, Max. Appreciate you guys. Everybody who threw the super chats around. Appreciate you. All my members, all my patrons. You guys are the best. Everybody for liking and sharing this video. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.
Adios. Yeah, we need a clip of